tonight was born to fight. Mythical, so mystical, think what you like. You could be the sword, the shield, defender of...
Hello everyone. It's a human nature to know what's going socially around, and the social media platform know how to take advantage of this. Today we are going to talk about one of the giant social media company named Facebook. Facebook was founded by former Harvard student named Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg was born on May 14, 1984, in White Plains, New York, into a comfortable, well-educated family, and raised in the nearby village, Zaveri. His father, Edward Zuckerberg, ran a dental practice attached to the family's home. His mother, Karen, worked as a psychiatrist before the birth of the couple's 4 children, Mark, Randy, Donna and Ariel.
Mark Zuckerberg was the second of 4 kids, the only boy. I think he was always treated very well. In fact, a nickname for him in the family was the Prince. And he has a very good relationship with his parents.
Mark had an interest in computers from the early age. When he was about 12. He used Atari Basic to create a messaging program. He named it ZuckNet. Mark's father used the program in his dental office so that the receptionist could inform him of a new patient without yelling across the room. Mark's parents hired private computer tutor David Newman to come to the house once a week and work with Mark. Newman later told that it was hard to stay ahead of Mark, who began taking graduate courses at nearby Mercy College around this same time. While still in high school, he created an early version of the music software Pandora, which he called Synapse. Several companies, including AOL and Microsoft, expressed an interest in buying the software and hiring the teenager before graduation. He declined the offers. Mark got enrolled in Harvard University in 2002, where he studied computer science and psychology. While at Harvard, he hacked the school's computers to get images of students.
He creates something called Face Mash his first year in Harvard, and it's a sort of hot or not for the Harvard community. And then it maintained an entire list of Harvard students and which ones were the most attractive, ranking them by hotness.
The program became wildly popular, but was later shut down by the school administration after it was deemed inappropriate.
Face Mash worked in kind of a little bit of an icky way. It made people upset. Obviously people felt mocked or exposed, and it was one of the first big experiences that Mark had with the privacy issues of the masses.
Harvard administration board charged him with breaching security, violating copyright, and violating individual privacy. Now he had to deal with the Harvard administration board. The administration board gave him the warning and let him go. The Face Mash was noticed by 3 upper-class students, twins Cameron and Tyler Winklewash, and Divyesh.
Connection was an idea that I'd come up with when I was a junior in college. This was at the end of 2002.
The team was building the site for nearly a year, but their programmer had moved on, and as they were not programmers, they desperately needed a programmer.
The 3 of us are not computer programmers by trade or practice. We did need an actual programmer to write the actual hard lines of code, and we thought Mark was that guy.
Then they made a contact to Mark Zuckerberg and discussed the idea of Harvard Connection.
I'm in.
What happened next sparked out a battle how Facebook was actually created. He liked the idea of Harvard Connection, but started working on his own similar project. Mark and Eduardo Zaveri partnered to fund the site.
Mark came to him and said, you put up $1,000 and we'll launch this site. And, there were no contracts. These were just 2 kids in a dorm room, really. But that's where it started.
According to Business Insider, Mark Zuckerberg was misleading the Winklewash.
We were always under the impression that Mark was working on HarvardConnection.com. There was never an indication from him that he could not do the work, didn't want to do the work, or was working on something identical on the side called the Facebook.
On February 4, 2004, Mark Zuckerberg with his friends launched the Facebook. The days after he launched the Facebook, twin Winklewash and Divyesh sent him a letter to seize the Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg responded in a letter, declined not doing any wrong, claiming his site was in separate venture, and used none of the same code of twin Winklewash and Divyesh. Later they appealed a $65 million settlement with Facebook. Just 3 weeks after its launch, Facebook already numbered 6,000 users on the campus alone, and after that he never stopped. In just 2 months, the Facebook has expanded to 7 universities.
What is the Facebook exactly?
It's an online directory that connects people through universities and colleges through their social networks there. When we first launched, we were hoping for, maybe 400, 500 people, and now we're at 100,000 people, so who knows where we're going next. We're hoping to have many more universities by fall, hopefully over 100 or 200, and from there we're going to launch a bunch of side applications which should keep people coming back to the site and maybe could make something cool.
Now he decided to leave Harvard and to go near the kings of the internet. He didn't choose the place randomly. He went 10 kilometers from San Francisco to Palo Alto. But there was one person missing in his new life. That was Eduardo Saverin. It was an absence that Mark would not forgive.
Well, Mark Zuckerberg would say that Eduardo wasn't dedicated to the point where he should have been, that he should have come to California, that that's where the company was. Eduardo felt that he was able to do the business from New York. He also wanted to finish college. Did Eduardo make a mistake by not going to California? Well, definitely.
The Mark and his team settled in. Their Palo Alto house became their headquarters.
It's a bunch of college kids living by themselves, partying a lot. On the other hand, they were also really hard workers. They would, party at night and sleep until 1 o'clock and then code from 2 to 2 and then party for a couple hours and then start the cycle all over again. But they were very disciplined about work. They worked really, really hard, even though they had a lot of fun too. They were only, 19 years old.
But there was one problem, that they don't have much money to expand their company, and Eduardo team's businessman still wasn't there. So Mark decided to replace Eduardo, and the third man came on board, Sean Parker.
Eduardo felt that, he was the business head of the company and he was no longer being treated that way. Mark and Sean were taking meetings all over California. They were meeting with venture capitalists, and they were kind of ignoring Eduardo. Eduardo froze the bank accounts to try and get Mark's attention, and Mark and Sean began to sort of figure out a way to build the company without Eduardo.
Mark responded and frothed Eduardo out.
Eduardo was removed from the company masthead, and he essentially became a non-entity. He became a non-person.
In August 2004, Sean Parker introduced Zuckerberg to Peter Thiel. He made a $500,000 angel investment in Facebook for a 10.2% stake in the company, and joined Facebook's board. Then in 2005, the venture capital firm Accel Partners offered Mark $12.7 million for 11% stake in the company. The Accel investment gave Facebook a valuation of $100 million. In August of 2005, Parker was arrested for suspicion of cocaine possession, although not formally charged for a crime, and immediately released. It led to its resignation from as a president of Facebook. The Facebook was growing remarkably, and so Zuckerberg moved his company from a house to downtown Palo Alto. To keep Facebook creativity culture alive, all-night hackathon was the way to do it. In September 2006, serious talks between Facebook and Yahoo took place concerning acquisition of Facebook, with prices reaching as high as $1 billion. In 2006, MTV also tried to pitch. They sent Facebook a $1.5 billion offer, but Mark Zuckerberg rejected it.
Mark had taken me on a walk around Palo Alto and shown me his apartment. And afterwards, we sat down for lunch, and I told him we'd be willing to pay as much as $1.5 billion to buy Facebook outright. His answer was, I think it's worth a lot more. And besides, you've seen my apartment. I don't really need that kind of money. And at the same time, I may never have an idea as good as this one. So I'm not that interested in selling.
In 2007, Microsoft invested $240 million in Facebook for 1.6% share, which made the company valuation of $15 billion. Okay, so now let's see some major acquisitions by Facebook. On April 9, 2012, Facebook acquired Instagram for $1 billion. On February 19, 2014, Facebook made a huge deal with WhatsApp of $19 billion. On March 25, 2014, Facebook bought Oculus VR for $2 billion. Worldwide, There are over 1.86 billion monthly active Facebook users, which is a 17% increase year-over-year. There are 1.15 billion mobile daily active users, an increase of 23% year-over-year. 5 new profiles are created every second. On Facebook daily 300 million photos are uploaded. Today Mark Zuckerberg net worth is $53.8 billion. This all social media connection would not be possible if there was not a 19-year-old kid with idea of changing the world. Thanks for watching my video. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I am gonna make more cool videos. Thanks for watching Digital Savage.
Watch me.